I desperately want to be someone who's like, dresses like this. This is all not me, okay? Like, I look like Rich and like Gwyneth right now, and I'm not.
Nikki, you've had some pretty epic roasts.
Tom Brady, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, most career wins, most career touchdowns. You have 7 rings. Well, 8 now that Giselle gave hers back, but...
What's the one rule you follow to determine if a joke is gonna cross the line?
If it involves someone that isn't them in the joke, then I go, okay, this is questionable. Like, there's one joke that I still to this day go, ooh, and I'm sorry to bring it up again, but it was something about Giselle dating her jujitsu instructor, and I said, oh, that would be rough, Tom, like knowing the guy that your ex-wife is dating could beat your ass while eating hers.
That's gotta be terrible.
I didn't feel bad about saying that to Tom because he signed up for the roast. Like, you know what you're getting. I did feel bad that I involved Giselle, who wasn't a part of it, in that joke. She has a right to be annoyed by that and like pissed off. If I was ever at something with her, I'd run the other way because I'd be so ashamed. So if you're watching this, you're not. I am sorry.
You're gonna be hosting the 2025 Golden Globes. What's the one piece of advice you've gotten about hosting that's stuck with you?
I was able to have a quick phone call with Ricky Gervais. The thing I got out of our phone call that stuck with me is that don't think you're them. You wouldn't be in this room unless you were hosting. These are A-listers. They know I'm not them. So if I try to seem like I am, they're gonna kind of be like, what? Who does she think she is? But just stay humble and remember, like, you have a job to do. You're hired to be funny, and you're not hired to like think you're hot shit and like think you're an A-lister.
Is there one previous host you're taking inspiration from?
It's about finding what I want to say to these people. Like, I watch Ricky, I watch Tina and Amy, I watch Seth Meyers. They have a point of view, and I'm still figuring out what that is. Okay, yeah, let's make fun of Wicked. We've all laughed at how they cry a lot on the press tour. But like, is there something more to be said about Wicked? But watching Tina and Amy, I really like to do what they did, which is like, they made fun of everyone in a way that was no one could get upset.
You've been on Joe Rogan's podcast a few times.
Oh my God, Nikki. This might be the most fun podcast ever.
Oh my God, Joe,
It's
thank
so
you.
Ridiculous.
What's one thing you've learned from his podcasting style that you've applied to your own shows?
I will say that, like, I learned after the first time, go pee beforehand. Before you do it, he's like, do you want a kombucha? Do you want to try this new coffee I got, this matcha thing? He's very nice and offers you all these like cool drinks. And so you're like, yeah, and then you get in there and you're like, it's 3 hours and you have to pee so bad. Don't take anything anyone says seriously in there the last hour because they're literally like, their body's shutting down from like a kidney infection.
You were very vulnerable in your HBO special, Someday You'll Die. Was there one thing you were hesitant to talk about?
You know, talking about my depression and talking about suicidal thoughts and things like that, I thought maybe it would make me lose out on work because, oh, someone won't give me a job because they think I'm gonna kill myself halfway through the production and they'll have to replace me. Hollywood doesn't think that way. If anything, they're like, it'll be good press for us if you do. I mean, I'm making a joke. Hollywood doesn't care about your mental health.
The thoughts of death, I don't like to dwell on them for longer than like 10 or 15 hours a day, so.
I did not know that suicidal thoughts were such a common thing. I just thought it was like something that made me like a terrible person or that people would just be like, you're so weird. But instead I got like, me too. As soon as I got that response, I was like, oh, this has to go in the act. Like, I have to put this on a bigger stage. I'm sure it's been talked about by other comics, but I haven't seen it talked about in the way that I was talking about it.
Was there one person who shaped your sense of humor?
I would like to say Elaine Benes from Seinfeld. I just absorbed how she talks.
Walking around naked? That is not a good look for a man.
She was just a great example, I think, as a young girl of like this childless woman who's horny and rather masculine in the way she handles herself and hangs out with men. Like, they're not constantly commenting on how she's a woman. I think she really inspired me, just as a woman, more so than comedically. And then comedically, I think all my influences were Seinfeld, Conan, and then Sarah Silverman was like kind of the wake-up call for me. When I first started stand-up, she was the first person I was like, oh, I'll just do this. She's like sexy, but she's also saying like crazy honest stuff. Like, that's what I want to be. I will say Eminem, you don't want to fuck with Shady, cause Shady will fucking kill you. When he dropped Will Fucking Kill You, I remember laughing so hard. And I was like, this guy is saying crazy stuff. Like, when I was in 9th grade, he was saying things that I could not believe you could say and be a pop star. And it was funny too.
I know you also take inspiration from Taylor Swift.
Yes.
What's the one surprise song you wanted to hear on the Eras tour?
My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. It's my favorite song. One of my favorite songs off Tortured Poets. That mixed with, what's another song where she's like disappointed in a man that let her, Dear John. That would be a good mashup.
How many shows have you gone to?
22. 22 feels like the perfect Taylor Swift number. And I know that is egregious. I go in the Swiftie subreddits and they're real mad at people who are seeing it multiple times, as I would be too, girls and boys, gay boys. I would be too. But I don't have kids. I don't buy designer clothes. I don't have designer handbags. This is what I spend my money on. And I'm sorry if you didn't get to go. I would have brought you if I knew you, but I don't know you. I hate these resellers too. It's not my fault, and I'm sorry I saw it so much.
Was there one moment you knew that comedy was for you?
So I was like not a talented child, but like I tried everything because I just was desperate to be like extraordinary. There was nothing extraordinary about me at all as a kid, as a teenager. And I was really like, I was honestly about to die. I had like an eating disorder that was killing me. I'm not as pretty as I want to be. I'm not like, nothing's clicking. And then someone was like, you're funny, you should do stand-up. And I was like, I'll try that. Like, I got nothing else going on. The first time I did it, like, it just felt like the shoe just fit. Like, it just felt so good. Like, I have literally a reason to live now. I just didn't know it was a thing out there. So I always implore people, like, if you see talent in someone, tell them.
What's the one thing that makes you funny?
What makes me funny is the things I'm probably most ashamed of. On my girls chat, I find that they always laugh at me when I'm like at my darkest moments, where I'm like complaining about my life or my body or my skin or my hair, and like I'm really like roasting myself. Like the way I move, like I'm a really like fast person who like throws things around, and I'm just like, I just plop down on things. Like I'm not graceful. They always feel bad because they're like, I'm laughing so hard. I'm sorry, I know you're crying, but you said this really funny thing you should write down. People just like authenticity, and the more I just stop fighting trying to be someone else, the better people like me.
Is there one gig that haunts you?
The last one I did that was like the worst gig of my life. It was like a corporate gig for probably 50 billionaires and their wives. It was right before the election. I was like, oh, so this is where you guys pick the next president? And they didn't laugh in a way that was like, yeah. Like, I was like, oh no. But yeah, I bombed for an hour. Like, it was too well lit. They could all see each other. You want an audience in the dark to laugh at stuff so they don't feel like, oh, if I laugh at this, everyone knows I agree with it. It was the most I'd ever been paid for a gig. And it still wasn't worth it.
What's one moment that changed how you view your career?
Something that stays with me is that when you walk down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so many of the stars are like names. You're like, who is that? Like Higgy Weatherbottom. And you're like, that Higgy Weatherbottom was like the Zendaya of her time. But no one knows who she is at all anymore. I like seeing all these names that were once big enough to get a star, like in a good spot. And like, most people walking over that star have no idea who they are. When you think of that everything's so fleeting and you're not gonna be really remembered and none of this matters, that really helps me like not put so much importance on everything.
If you could send a message to young Nikki just starting out, what's one piece of advice you'd give her?
Everything's gonna go great. Just keep being you. Go to therapy. Start working on loving yourself. I know you don't know that you don't like yourself, but you don't. Also, look into this girl Taylor Swift. Like, get on board sooner, because it'll really help you through some times. And don't wait till love her. Like, get in at least fearless.